over there freaking out. Say hi. Can I not say hi? You did not. Is that another call? No. You got up there. I don't know. Taking one for Gail. I don't know. You know what this is?
I don't.
I have an idea. I'll give it to someone. I think.
Thank you. I paid big bucks for this.
I like it.
Thank you. Instead of her son styling it, I say just braid it.
Process that we do.
Well, you know, I'm finding myself doing that a lot.
She twisted my, she twisted my husband twisted a few times, but imagine yours was. I think so. Oh, Sally coming tonight? Or did she-
I'm really bummed that I'm gonna miss your brother, so I was gonna make a pot of sloppy Joe for you. Are you having people over after?
No, I think we're just gonna do a thing at the Great Dogs. And I'm gonna have sandwiches and stuff there.
Gotcha.
It's on, yeah, it's up there. So, yeah, it was live. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go outside.
Yeah.
Grandma's duties. Cause.
How are you? Good, how are you?
But no, they'll be taking it nice.
I appreciate it.
Great. Yeah.
Always something, huh? Oh, it's fun though. And I love all the lights and.
Man, it was cold.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, your hair looks cute.
Just behave back there.
Oh, you're not good. Just like yourself. I was wondering.
Amazed. Before that.
I thought you
That's a good thing.
I made it.
West. It's,
But we could, look at all these things. I mean, why don't we spread them all?
everybody always sets chairs up.
It's because everyone loves each other so much at these meetings, right? That's all we have to make us before.
I'll let you on too.
Oh, I just, I don't know. Maybe they did like, it's a bad day.
I don't have the answer to your question.
Good, how are you? Yes. Yeah, it's off my lawn now.
And I wanted to get separated one last year for helping them. So I thought, you know,
He left you.
Sometimes you don't have to sing.
There's that.
No. There's a lot of down. Sure is down.
Full house all over. Raining pretty bad? Raining pretty bad?
I twisted it. I was outside, so I fell in the rain, right? So then I'm laying there in the rain thinking, okay, I need to make sure I'm okay before I get up. But everything else, yeah. It's out of the ship store. It's out of the ship store. It's out of the ship store. It's all that good. It's out of the, yeah. The gas pumps are out of the water now too. So that's good. Yes. It's needless. Yeah, okay. It's outside, so then it's just pop in here, so it's like, it's late.
Okay, we will call the sewer meeting to order at 6:03. Thanks for coming. We're joined by Tom Prout, trustee, Trudy May, and Aaron Nordman from Performance Engineering. Go ahead.
Okay, so it appears that the floodwaters are receding a little bit here. So the contractor for the phase 2 project has been taking advantage on the gravity system part of it. And they're starting with the installation of the 2 lift stations down at the end of South and Mac there. So they finished South last week and they're basically backfilling on Mac today. They had a lot of water to dewater, but they got ahead of it and got those structures in. So that's their deepest point, and the biggest dewatering challenge would be those structures. So from here, they come up a little bit and they'll start mainline work. Our inspector will be handing out little resident notices. They're going to pulverize the roadways here this week in preparation for starting the mainline sewer work on South Birchfield there. So that's what's going on kind of in the collection system side of things right now. On the plant side, the contract for the phase 1, phase 2 project with Grand Traverse Construction is complete. There's a final pay order on the agenda for the township tonight for that. And we bid out the additional 2026 work that was on the street to add the addition for the screen, the chemical feed, and the expansion on the gable end of the building. And it has a pole barn on it for cold unheated storage of equipment and materials for the operations of the sewer system as a whole. The pole barn part of this was kind of a wish list item, but we wanted to see where all the pricing landed and see where our total funding package would allow us to spend dollars wisely. So all this stuff came in such that there is enough money with the project funds that we could do the pole barn, but it puts us kind of close. So what we're proposing to the township is to go back to the contractor, and there's some value engineering alternative that we're talking to them about for the pole barn itself. And then what is the drop dead date that we would need to begin construction on the pole barn to be able to have it completed within the time frame of the project. So we're waiting to hear that back from the contractor, hoping to have an award recommendation for a reduced amount on that whole part of it. So that's what's going on the plant side. On the phase one side, there's not much update on there really, other than we had flooding within the Columbus Beach Club down at the end of Pier Avenue. And so one of the lift stations has been out of service there. That's going to get started up tomorrow. So we're going to treat that like a fresh start with everybody, walking back through all the equipment, the settings, the alarming, making sure everything's properly functioning like we would in a normal startup, just to make sure that when that gets powered up, we're not going to have nuisance alarms or issues when we put it back into service. So that's the gist of what is going on right now. And we're glad to take questions. And
How far or how close can you be to your property line to run your sewer off? Do you have any idea?
So we're running the mainline sewers
I
out.
know you're running the main to our property.
Yep, we run it to your property.
But I need to know how close I can be to my property line to run it up to where I need it. Can anybody?
From the main to your home? Is that what I'm to understand?
Well, they state where we want it.
Yeah.
Okay? And my property line is really close. I want to know how close I can be to this property line before I have to do something different.
So like your shared line with your neighbor, is what you're talking? To the right of way?
From the street, from where your property, you're gonna put your tube there.
Yeah.
I want to run it to my house. I need to know how close I can be to my property, this side of my property line. What's that?
Into your neighbor's house.
No, the property line. Just the property line. How close can you be? Can I be right on it? Do I have to be 10 feet off?
You do not have to be 10 feet off. It's really a physical limitation of you need a certain amount of area to dig a trench, to put that pipe in, and you don't want to go over your property line. But generally,
There's no setback requirements like we have with the house.
right,
Say that
Right.
again?
There's no setback rule.
like a zoning setback type idea.
Gotta get 4 or 5 feet.
Oh, there's
If you can get 4 or 5 feet, you're,
Well, you could maybe get 3 feet, if they might have to pull blocks, you're gonna get a lot of water trenching. And you'll have to talk to your neighbor about whether or not they want to have part of the yard.
So who do I ask to find out if I need to ask my neighbor?
I would ask your neighbor. I
Who
mean,
do I ask who do I have to ask? Am I going to have to ask my neighbor to give me a little leeway?
yeah, I would ask your installing contractor
So I
if he feels he can
contract.
install it within your property boundary without talking.
So
to
I
you.
can go to the property line, or I have to be?
You can go to the property line, yeah.
I can go to the property.
Can I add, we need the erosion
Can you
permit,
speak up on here?
erosion permit might be required, but it's up to your contractor. So that would determine how close you can be to your property. So that would be the something that county.
If you're in need of putting the line close to your neighbor, you could talk to your neighbor about them giving you a right,
Yeah.
a permanent right or a temporary right. And you could actually.
But nobody, so,
That would be ideal. Yeah, if you're gonna be close.
and then the other question I have is, in your, the packet, where page 96, where you're asking for, attached for consideration for the Tuscarora Township to pay request number 5, are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with,
I'm not.
which one are you talking about?
It's on page 96 of your packet.
I don't have the packet. Is it something we produce?
Yeah, you produced, or
Okay.
Steve produced it.
Yeah.
I'm not reading it out loud. This is what I'm referring to.
Oh, yeah, the gravity, the pay request for the contract.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about the pay request that's in the township
Yeah,
board
if,
packet. Okay, I'm sorry.
But they're saying because of the water table, is that what I'm understanding? In this?
Let me go get the board.
Yeah, I have a.
I'm thinking about your lot line question. Is your neighbor hooking up in the same spot?
Well, I'll talk to some.
No, I was just wondering, could you make one big trench go through your laterals? No, it's not you.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No offense.
Of the pay request. Okay,
Okay, so you're from out your, if they would have started a little later, because the way I'm reading it, and I could be totally wrong, I'm not an engineer or anything, but because they ran into water problem, that they charged us more, because that's what they did at Barbara Street. Am I correct?
yes and no. So dewatering is part of the base part of the contract.
Mhm.
What this is additional ballast at that lift station, there was a massive amount of water. And
Yeah,
so,
but I guess my question is if they would have waited a little bit longer because of the flooding that we had, would they have to do that? To de-water?
the extra cost is not for the removal of the water. The extra cost is for concrete ballast to prevent it in these flooding situations from becoming unstable and moving.
And then one more question I have is, and this really upset me. I was talking to Walton, I guess he's in charge, whoever the guy was,
Okay.
and he informed me that I'm not paying for the sewer, that the state is. So I would like to know, could somebody inform them that we are paying for this? I have a 40-year loan out, and he made me feel like I was so stupid, and I've been coming to these meetings for a long time. Yes, I'm not, I don't know all the ins and outs, but I do know I'm paying
Oh, yeah.
a lot.
Yes.
Okay, I'm done.
I'll make a note of that project progress meeting with those guys, make sure they're
He
not.
shouldn't be saying
Right.
that
He
I
should-
don't know what I'm talking about when I've written 2 checks already.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, preferably if you see like our representative on the site,
Well, I
Doug,
tried talking to him, okay.
he would be the
He
one,
was too busy,
it was, yeah.
so I'm done.
When, I know you did a lot of out front questioning about location of lateral lines. In the case of an install that we want to change the lateral line location, and of course the road's been resurfaced, are you going to allow for new taps if you do not like the lateral line location, or you find it economically more difficult?
So generally speaking, we're willing to work with anybody up until the time that we set that Y, what we call the little connection
Yeah, right.
into the main. And at the time we set that, you're kind of locked in. So if we've already repaved and down the line somebody wants to change it, the preferred way to change it would be to just come close to your right of way and reroute your service line on your property if you can. If you're saying that that does not work and you want to make a new tap in the road, this would have to be somewhat of a discussion, because I'm not 100% certain what the township policy is, but typically that would be like an owner expense.
Well, you certainly are going to have to make allowances for that in the future, because you didn't take care of all contingencies in the installation of the trunk lines. So you're going to have to do it eventually. It's just a matter of, I don't know what your time frame is. I know you want everything in by the first of the year for phase one.
Yeah.
And corollary to that, are you going to extend that due to the extreme conditions, groundwater conditions?
That's something that the board will have to discuss. That's
Okay,
been asked, and I can't answer that,
okay.
but certainly it warrants a discussion by the board. And with regard to your question, I believe the ordinance, and I'm willing to go back and read it, and it is online. It is difficult to find, so if you need help with that, I can help you. But it does, I believe the ordinance does say that once the collection main is in and that the laterals are set, and keep in mind that we do all these laterals when the pavement is up, because that's the most economical way to do it. Once the pavement goes back down and we had your lateral set here, and you decide or realize it's not the best location, it would be better here. Or if you have a lot with your home on it and you have a lateral that you connected, but you have a garage here or plans for a garage with a bathroom in it, and you had them leave the drop here, but you haven't connected it yet. Or maybe you said, don't do the drop. And now you realize, oh gosh, I want a garage with a mother-in-law suite and a bathroom in it. I want to have the drop, but it wasn't left. Then that burden does fall to you, because again, we have to take up, the road would have to be taken up, the lateral installed in the main, and the lateral then taken to the new garage. So there's a lot of moving parts to that. And I think that the previous administration tried to anticipate some of that with courtesy joins and think ahead. If you have two lots, you want to join them and pay one assessment and have a drop left here and here just in case. Or maybe you courtesy join, you have a lateral left, and then you decide we're never going to build. We have two kids. We're going to divide and leave the house in the lot with kid one and leave this lot for kid two. And they can do with it what they want, knowing full well kid two, if they decide to build, they're going to have to pay to have a lateral drop installed and put in.
Okay, so there will be, on a case-by-case basis, we can petition to have a new lateral line installed for the main.
Right, and yes, and again, then I would think that part of that cost to have that installation would include the lateral. We would get an installation of the Y in the main, as well as taking up of the pavement in that area and putting it back to the way it was.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It happens all the time.
It's another thing. But I didn't know exactly whether if you started doing a lot of these, it might alarm people and so forth, because you got fresh pavement.
Well, and that's the whole,
That's the whole goal of trying to get these in the right spot.
right. Right. And we had some other, Mr. Murdock.
Going with him, so if I have a separate lot, you combine them, and I wanted to put a drop there,
Mhm.
is what you're saying, I can do that, but I don't have to pay the loan?
Right. The assessment. So you have 2 lots.
Yeah.
Are they one
Right now
person?
they're combined.
Okay, so you paid one assessment, one debt assessment,
Okay.
okay? But let's say these are your lots, and you have one drop for your home. You could say, I would like a Y left here while the ground's all torn up, the road's all torn up. I don't know that I'm going to do anything with it in the next year or 2, but I want to leave this for my kids.
Right.
So I'm leaving this for my kids, and I'm leaving this for my kids, or maybe we want to do something with it in 5 or 10 years.
So
But think about this. When is the best time to put that lateral in? It's when everything's torn up in a holy mess, right? Because to wait until to put this in after the new pavement's down, you're gonna have to take up the pavement, there's a cost there. Do the deed, put the new pavement back down, there's a cost there.
Right.
Versus while it's all torn up, we're gonna come along, trench, put your drop, trench, put your drop, pave the whole thing over.
But you pay nothing until you actually hook up.
You pay for, correct.
So
Your
wouldn't be-
debt
I
assessment,
wouldn't be on the hook for another loan. I mean, you wouldn't.
not until so this is connected to your house, that's your 1 RU. And when you make this connection here, you have them leave the drop just in case.
Okay.
And then you build a garage with a mother-in-law shack and you make the connection then in 10 years. Then you start with your 1 RU, or maybe it's a bed and breakfast or something. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. Am I explaining that?
Yeah, essentially she wants to separate the properties in the future.
Right. So, yeah,
Let's go.
Patty?
I'm in phase 2, and I'm glad my husband and I are the last person. Thank God for 2 years ago, brother went down, I didn't have his house, and so running around dirt. I understood that late this year is when you guys were going to go ahead and plug into what that be the west end of Barbara and Sturgeon Island. But now that Sturgeon Island is still underwater, what do you think? I know you can't say for sure, but do you think you even have this work this fall for that part of things too?
Yeah, we are anticipating that we're gonna be drilling out there once the water subsides.
As awful as this sounds, and that area, it's been a hot mess out there. Believe it or not, and you know this, I know you know this. There is a burn ban on. It is so dry everywhere. It is hard to believe. But it is, I took a call yesterday with a wildfire that was next to a pine forest, and the neighbor was very concerned. So it is hard to believe, and we're down. Well, I think of it as a sponge. I'm a visual person. So, we had all these sponges in the sink, say, and then we just kept pouring water, and there's only so much capacity. And that's what I think about with the ground. So now it's slowly draining away, slowly. But the sponges are still saturated. So our ground is all still saturated, and it's oozing out slowly. We don't see it. It's going away. As long as we get little additional rain, that the ground should release that water and some of it will stay, and some will go into the aquifer. It's just a matter of time. And we have evaporation on our side, and if we could get a little warm weather, whoever's in charge of that, turn it up a bit, please. A little sunshine, a little breeze helps, all that, right? There's so many. I know. Oh, how deep would you get? Oh, sure. Yes. We need no wait sign. Oh, okay, that's a good thing. Oh, wow.
It's a major move your car from the state park
Oh my,
She
wow.
was waiting over to the back.
Well, okay, we don't have poisonous water snakes, so.
Excuse me, besides Hoffman on Barbara, I have an update for you, on this other matter that was bothering you. Okay, late breaking news.
Other questions? Yes,
When will you take up the extension of hookup times?
I can't answer that. I mean, let's wait. I hate to be that way, but it's early in this flood situation. A lot can change. Has it been a month yet? Has it been a month? And we're down from 5 inches below the top of the dam. I think I saw today 21 inches down. It doesn't seem like much, but we don't have the lake creating a new course to the river over via the Veterans Pier. So that's a good thing. Now we've gained a lot of sand. It'll have to be moved, but I can't really answer that. I think it's worthy of consideration. And
Well, you've certainly lost some install season
sure.
for the last 6 weeks.
Well, are you speaking of the laterals or for the actual collection system itself
For people hooking up
in phase one?
January 1, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Possibly. I mean, certainly in the lower areas down Columbus Beach area, in the lower areas, but a lot of them hooked up last fall. Our Constance Park area is still underwater
Right.
down there. And I can't speak of the river, those along the river. I can't speak to that.
Well, certainly the water table is up.
It's right there.
Pumps.
And I would defer to any contractor that's doing those installations, because if they're doing them, they know this is they know what they're doing. And to me, they can work magic sometimes.
The question's not, when are you gonna consider it extended? That's the question.
I would say let's look more towards the end of summer, because we could have an early winter, we could have a late winter, the winter before last. And again,
Doesn't really help you when you're trying to schedule your install. There is a lot of the installers are delaying it, and I'm wondering if we can get some kind of consideration within a time.
how long are they delaying it? Are they saying?
Well, they're delaying it because the water table's too high, and they don't want to do all that dewatering when they install your lateral.
So are they giving you a time frame?
You can't get any commitment right now.
Okay.
And I can't. Okay, so my point is, if you get into the summer, are we gonna be, I don't know what the rest of the weather is gonna do, and has there been enough to warrant a delay on the install date or not? And I don't remember, is there a penalty if you don't make the install date?
Yes. So keep in mind, the ordinance that the township has established gives a 12-month from the point of substantial completion. The board decided that it would be a year from January 1 of 26, which brings it to January 1 of 27. The state law says 18 months, done. So that's what we're looking at.
18 months from,
Substantial completion,
and that would be,
June of 27. Keep in mind, there are bills to pay.
I understand. I'm just trying to get some kind of an idea. If you're running into install problems timely wise, is this something that's going to be considered, and how soon will it be considered?
The answer to the first question is yes. The answer to the second question is I can't give you a time frame. I mean, I think it's early in the game.
Well, yeah.
Yes, thank
You were
you.
getting contractors wouldn't even bid.
Right.
You're trying to get bids for installs and they won't even bid on them.
Right.
Because of the situation.
Right. But if they're not able, and I believe if they're not able to give you a time frame of we're gonna wait a week, we're gonna wait 3 weeks, check back in a month, check back in July. I don't have any more of a crystal ball than they do
Okay.
on the weather. well, on anything, actually.
Can I add to this water table situation?
Sure.
I know in phase one, when they ran the lines to the property line, whatever they were at 10, 15 feet, they put a pipe for there. And that's what we have to hook up. Now the water table situation, if they run the line up a little closer to maybe, the top, so you don't have to dig as deep. But that's where everybody's running into because the installation was dry. And then, so now we had, and I hooked up, we had to try to start with the water. But if they would just stay over 45, they would go closer to the surface, they would help everybody out. And then the property owner can have to pay so much to install this.
That is what's happening right now.
It is what's happening.
Yeah, we saw, I don't know, Elmer's got so lucky or whatever the situation was. It was all bone dry and we left them down low to give people as much slope as we could possibly give them. But that situation, obviously, yeah. So we've amended the way we're doing these and we're doing just what you're saying at the end, we put 45 up. So if you need more slope, you might have to dig and cut it down. But if you're shallow, you save yourself some dewatering.
Yeah, Aaron, you mentioned Mack Avenue during your conversation, which runs east and west.
Yeah.
How far east is this portion going to run towards Straits Highway? Are you going to pick up the dirt road that comes up that direction, or how far are you going to? Is that phase 2 or?
That is in phase 2.
It is in
Yeah.
phase 2.
Yeah.
So you're going to come up the dirt road then?
Yeah.
Okay.
One more question on that, there's a lot of washouts right now, as far as, who's gonna rebuild that road where the washout is? I know it's probably not your responsibility, or is the county getting involved, trying to rebuild, the area where it's washed out, and maybe put up some kind of rocks or some kind of, defense mechanism for a future washout? That's all it's been, yeah.
Yeah, so the county's been out talking to our contractors and inspector out there. They're aware of all this. There's gonna have to be some kind of collaborative effort, I would say, because there's two things that are going on. One is the shoreline damage that's from the flooding, and the other is our contract obligations to put the road back. So we will, of course, put the road back and restore around all the areas where the project impacted it. But there's gonna be some amount of damaged shoreline beyond that, that our contractor's not gonna do for free. Now, whether or not the road commission does something on their own to do it, or if they're gonna try to utilize a contractor that's on site, I don't know how that's gonna play out.
Is the township's gonna invest in the county?
Sure, we'll get in line. Yeah, yeah. What's that? I'm sorry? Yeah. Interestingly, across my email late this afternoon was from the EOC out of Sheboygan County. They want everybody's costs for expenses incurred to date for this. Well, I don't know, but I think there are many people here who are still waiting for water to recede. So, I'd love to have a conversation with the county. They're a little busy right now trying to get roads ready for brining, and other, bridges and other things. My answer is yes. Love to have conversations with them. The how and where's the money coming from, and what are we anticipating for costs? I know some of us who are on the waters are looking at trying to save what we have left. And so again, contractors will be in demand who do that type of work. If I had a guess, I could throw it out to FEMA and say, who's going to help with this? But do we really know what's happening at the end of Barbara, out onto the spit, out onto along the water, under the bridge, out to the lake, out on Sturgeon Island? I rode my bike on the bike path and went south this past weekend, and I was amazed at how the sturgeon cleansed itself, you can see the cottages and homes down there at the tail end. And I asked other people, Dan Nivel, who walks daily that way, and I said, could you see them last year after the ice storm? He said, not at all. So that's how high that water was in there between looking, if you're on the bike path by Bigby Coffee a bit further south and you're looking at the end of Rainbow End Lane, you can see those cottages and homes in there. And there's nothing. There's no vegetable debris under there. Now, whether the trees will come back, I don't know. I'm not a biologist, but that's how much and how forceful and how much water there was in there to self-cleanse. And for those of you down that way, I had to be terribly frightening.
It was. So is FEMA in contact with you guys?
They were in contact with us through the county at this point in time, and then I expect it will dribble down to us. Yeah. So, and we have some expenses that we won't know what they are until after tomorrow. With our lift stations, we've had, I think, 4. We had underwater. Anyway, and if we have to do something down here, it'd be nice to get a jump on that. So perhaps I need to reach out to Matt tomorrow, and maybe he's already including those costs because he's looking at this from the county level. And really and truly, that may fall to them. Yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else?
I got a question. I have a duplex on South Ave, and I was told by Steve, that was part of before, that since I have one parcel number, that I can connect into one.
I'll defer to the engineers on that.
Yep, we definitely want to talk to you.
Okay.
What we want to do is figure out, do you have 2 separate plumbing outlets, one for each, or do you have a common outlet for the building?
Common.
Yeah, so we would drop you a 6-inch and hook up your.
So it'll be one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
Other comments, questions? Yes, no? Go ahead.
So, first I just want to read this one out.
Oh, sure.
So, I just want to add did we change where this Mac Avenue is going to be finished first because the road-based traffic, or are we still on the sidewalk from Marlboro up to which way is the direction?
I don't remember were we starting at Sturgeon and working this way or starting here and going, well, geez. I'm sorry, you were what? Ending it. So from here to here and from there to here, we might have to.
Yeah, so they are going to pulverize Mac to Birchfield here. So we'll find out on Thursday. We have a progress meeting with them, and it sounds like they are revising their. Yeah. And we did talk about the boat race traffic, and that's on their radar.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, no? Okay. All right, well, stick around. 7 o'clock is the township board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.